going on, family? What's going on, family? Your welding coach Joe Brown, aka Black Phoenix, checking in today, and I wanted to work on an overhead FluxScore 4G practice coupon. And the goal with this exercise is to just give y'all a couple tips when it comes to doing your FluxScore testing. This is a 3/8 coupon. Majority of the time when you're doing FluxScore tests, right now, what I've been seeing anyway, they're doing horizontal, vertical up, or overhead. A lot of fabrication shops tend to try to keep things in an easier position to be so that the welds can look the same all the time. So a lot of them are just testing you for 2G down. They don't do anything out of position, so that way the welds can be easier, faster, and all that. Now, when it comes to field fabrication, now they might have you do uphill and overhead. Now they have some companies that will test you in uphill and overhead, and a majority of those is going to be on 1-inch coupons. This is a 3/8. Now even the one job here in Little Rock called FCAW Steel, they do a horizontal 2G test, and it's a inch coupon, and you have to fill it up all the way out, and they send it off to get tested. The main thing is to remember with this, with FluxScore, this is dual shield FluxScore too, with gas. The main thing is to remember you want to drag slag, most definitely, and you want to make sure you have the proper stick out. There's a few different variables that can go wrong when you're doing FluxScore, especially dual shield. If your gas go out, it can cause holes. If your wire is defected, you can have some holes and some worm tracks. So if your stick out isn't proper, you can have some problems. Or if you let the plate get too hot, the heat from the plate can push your gas out, and I have seen that cause people issues too when they taking a test. So the main thing you want to do when you're getting yourself set up here is to get comfortable, family. Make sure you can see everything. If you're coming from the side or you drag it in, you want to make sure you can see the puddle. You want to make sure you can see it spreading, see it's tying into the side walls. Now, some people say they like to weave it a little bit when they do it. Some people like to run straight lines. Now, I'm gonna say both of them can work. If you want to weave it just a small hair, make sure that the puddle is touching both sides, that's fine. If you want to just dial into that backing strip, this is the backing strip on here. If you want to just dial into it and pull it, you can too. So I just say find what works best for you and stick with it. Master that technique. Another main thing is make sure that you clean your nozzle. Make sure that you get it clean, because while you're doing this test, certain BBs and stuff and trash can fall out and it can get in your well. Now with this test, you can't use a grinder on a lot of these tests. Some of them do require, but you really don't want to. I say, try to take your time and make sure everything is running good. Keep you a sample plate. I got a sample coupon here. Keep you something that you can dial in your welds. Make sure everything is going good. Make sure everything is smooth, so that way you don't have no problems when you dive into this first one. Now, we're using a welding stand. This stand is by Triangle Engineering. I really like it, man. It's pretty dope. They got a couple more adjustables when it comes to pipe. We do structural, so we don't do pipe, so I ain't got all of that, but I got the rest of the basics for this stand. And I think it's cool. I really like it. We're going to dive in. My goal is to put in the root pass. Put the root pass in, and with the FluxScore, especially on the 3/8 plate, it don't take a whole lot to dial into it to feel this plate out. So as long as you're taking your time, fam, you shouldn't have too much of an issue with filling this up. I like to get comfortable. Everybody's different, but I like to get comfortable, fam. So try to get it where you feel good and go with it. Always start on your backing strip, end on your backing strip. All right. What the world? See, I had this happen a few minutes ago. It's like my wire was torn up. I'm glad I wasn't even tapped into it. I was still on the backing strip. Should be a little better now. See, sometimes you have issues, so it's always best start on your backing strip, like I just did, and I had a little error with the wire. I had did it a couple times, and it acted like it had a kink in it. I reset the wire, but it should be good though. Get a habit of always coming out. So always form a habit of coming out on your backing strip. That turned out pretty smooth. I do want to check my wire. It seemed like when I set this, I just put a new spool of wire in there. And I want to show y'all something when you setting these. So I'm gonna show you something real quick. So I just put this new wire on there. What you say real quick? Hold up for a second. 60-10. Give me a second. So with this roller, you got a tensioner here. And if it's too loose, it'll like keep rolling a little bit after you let off. If it's too tight, it'll kind of like, it won't push the wire in there good. So when you put this in there, you want to adjust these and make sure this is good, because if this is too tight, it can cause the wire to stop while you're welding. And I have had that happen. I actually had one time, we messed around and put the button on backwards somehow. And as it was releasing, it was getting tighter and tighter, and literally we was welding, the wire just stopped. We was like, what in the world? And it had literally, he had put it on backwards, and as it was going this way, it was getting tight. So that's something that you should most definitely look out for. Uphill 60-10, man, it's gonna be all based on travel speed, angle, and gap, and pattern. So some people do a horseshoe. You can do a zigzag and hesitate. Some people use the circular motion. I done seen whipping uphill, so it all depends on if it's a root pass or just a regular weld, but you're gonna have to practice on that most definitely to get it like you want to. Yeah, that's pretty much just fell off. That's one thing about this flux cord. It'll pop. So I like to just try to protect myself, but on this one, like I say, it burnt real good. So we're gonna bring it in to y'all so y'all can see this one. So hopefully you're able to see that real good. So that was a good root pass. No undercut, filled in good, the sidewalls. Yeah, that turned out like excellent. So the goal is to run 1, 2, and then 3, 4, maybe 5. So I maybe have 3 to 5. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 to 5 more passes on this. So your main tips you want to do when you're doing flux core is to just keep in mind that you want to always prepare yourself. And if you mess around and start slow and go fast, you can actually put too much metal in, and it can cause you to lose your line. You want to keep that line there. So make sure you're watching the side to keep that wire from building up too much and covering up your line. Keep that in mind. There's a lot of opportunities out here, fam. Keep knocking, keep knocking. I don't know where you at. I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas, and there is a lot of opportunities out here. So if you're looking for an opportunity and you in this area, family, there's opportunities. So a lot of opportunities out here. It all depends on what you want. I tell people all the time, you can come to a small place like Arkansas and get the skills, get the trade, and go anywhere you want to go to in the world. I got a student right now talking about, hey, man, I take that Wisconsin job, man. I'm gone. I go get a bag. You hear me? Whole family was like, mama was like, hey, I'm coming too. You know what I'm saying? So it's all based on the individual, family. It's all based on the individual. So as long as you put the work in at this end, fam, you can change your life and your family. You know, so let's dive into this next one and keep it moving, fam. So let me try to get myself comfortable with my arm and shit. Being comfortable is everything, man. Being comfortable is everything, and making sure you can see. Woo! Roll, excellent. Boy, I followed that line so well. You know, it's so ironic. You can see, no, I'm using 75-25. A lot of shops, though, fabrication shops will use CO2 100%. Flux core welding, flux core. If you're getting undercut, you might be going too fast. You probably, are you whipping it or are you doing circular motion? Majority of the time, it might be you going too fast or your heat might be a little too high too, fam. Check into that. Okay, bet. Show y'all this. I still got the slag on it right now. So we haven't knocked the slag off, but you can just see from the slag on how I kept it under the line. You can still see my line. So it's going to be cool when I start on this side to do my root. My goal right here next is come on this side and fill this in to match this side. So as you see, I haven't knocked the slag off yet, and it's still. Woo. Nice run, fam. Nice run. Nice and clean, too. Nice and clean run. So the main things with this, like I say, is to take your time, fam. Take your time. Keep it clean. And always prepare. Always prepare for your next weld. Always prepare for your next. So the goal is you want to try to make the steps easier for yourself. Don't try to complicate it. I see a lot of people get nervous and get to moving too much. Just take your time, fam. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to be all right. Just take your time. And you're going to be fine. So we're going to dive back into it. I'm going to clean my tip. So I like to say this, lead by example. You can get your chipper hammer and tap it. But sometimes your little BBs will just fall in there. I'm looking for my pliers. My tip's still clean. And with flux core, it's safe to have at least, you see this stick out, it's about 3/4. With this wire, say I can have 3/4 to an inch and a quarter, but I like to have at least 3/4, fam. I think you'll be good about 3/4 of a stick out. I actually just did some uphill verts on my other video. If you go in my archives, I just did one. And this is going to be a part of a series, and I put a piece in the series I'm going to have up, and I got an uphill up too, so check it out. I do got one uphill. I got a piece of an uphill on my profile, so check it out. But I'm going to be dropping a series, and I already got one uphill with flux core already ready to go, so I can be able to help y'all with that one here soon. Let's dive into this next one. Where? See how that happened? That happens. Kinks in the wire or something. I can't stand it, but it happens. What in the world? So what's going on with my wire? Woo! Nice one. So as you see, you're going to have certain things that's going to happen that's going to be under your control, like the wire was popping when I first got started. Normally, once you get to going, you'll be okay, fam. But the main thing is just get to going. Salute, salute. Thank everybody for checking in, showing support, showing love. I do appreciate it. For those who haven't subscribed yet, go check out Your Welding Coach on YouTube. That's Your Welding Coach on YouTube. And also, Hog On University on YouTube. And for those who want to follow me on other platforms, it's Your Welding Coach on Facebook, Your Welding Coach on Instagram. Salute, salute. Okay, I'm letting it cool down right now. I've been showing them, though. I've been showing them, fam. I'm showing every time I do one. I let it cool down a little bit. So the flame won't be too hot. Woo! That got good. Hopefully y'all can see that. Now I'm ready to start running my cap. I'm gonna start here and come across. So I should have one. I maybe have 2, 3 caps. Maybe I have 2 to 3 beads on my cap. It all depends on how fast I run. Yeah, I really do. I like flux core. I'm gonna tell you why. When it comes to fabricating, flux core is where it's at. One thing I love about flux core, you can do it with or without gas. And when I was doing a lot of flux core welding repairs and installs, we did a lot of flux core without gas, and we was using a lot of MIG welding and flux core to build the things we was building. Now, if it was ornamental stuff, we just did MIG. If it was anything that was, you know, actually a half-inch or bigger, we was using 3/8 or bigger, pretty much. We was using flux core, burn it out. Salute, salute. Appreciate it, fam. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dive into it. I'm gonna run this next one. So the main thing, I just want to give you any tips I can to make this process easy. But one thing I would say, get comfortable. Um, Make sure you got everything you need. You see, I got me a light because most of the time you're gonna need your own light. Um, get you a scraper, a little scraper, because you can't use grinders. So if you need to scrape the side, get you a scraper. Make sure you have you some good pliers and your chipper hammer and wire brush. These are all the tools that you're able to use on this test. Now, they do have some where they allow you to use the grinder, but I think I like to tell people I'm a welder and not a grinder. Now, I know how to grind, but I'm a welder and not a grinder. I like to tell people that all the time. You know what I mean? I say, I don't mind grinding now. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a welder though, fam. So I want to make sure each weld looks as best as I can. So fam, let's get down here and we finna get ready to ride to this next one. This situated here. Woo! Fire in the hole. Now, when you're doing your surface welds, you don't want to stay too long, especially if you got everything. You see that slag just fell off. It's just a surface weld on your cap. So when you're doing your cap on this flux core, especially once you got the your pad, your coupon filled up, you just want to run it across the surface. Don't spend a lot of time on top of it because then you can actually have a problem and mess around and fall out. Yeah, that turned out pretty good, man. That turned out. So we might have three passes on this one. Might have three or two. I don't know. It all depends. So you notice how every time I do one, I will stop for a little second and just let it cool. Keep that in mind. I always form a habit of doing that. That way the plate is kind of cooling on its own. Let y'all see it. Hopefully y'all can see this. So you always got to prepare for yourself and just get comfortable, and you should be able to drop decent beads with this flux core. And just remember to prepare for the next weld. Every time you drop one, you preparing for your next one. And that's big to keep in mind. Yes, it will. You'll burn a hole in it, or you'll deposit too much metal and it'll drip on you. And you don't want it to drip on you. So you don't want to stand in one spot too long, by no means. Say, try to get comfortable. I like to try to get comfortable as I can. Now, y'all see that? It happens. Woo! So I'm gonna tell you something too. Another tip: try to fine tune your travel speed when you're doing flat and when you're running your beads. Normally, when people run beads, they're like, "Oh, I can't wait to really start putting some T joints and do all that." It's going to be easy to do T joints, grooves, filler welds once you can run a a consistent bead. If you get that bead down, when you know what it's looking like, how to lay it in, it's going to be so much easier when you start doing joints and filler welds. Some starter advice. I'm running 045 wire, 22 volts, and 250 on the wire speed. Some welding, some starter. I'm gonna tell you the best advice is to get started. Have patience. And leave your ego or whatever you know at the door when you get to a class. Pick it up when you leave. Come in there with a blank slate. That way you can take it all in. And then as you get to going to class and you get to learning, you can take out what you don't need or what applies to you and what don't apply to you. But keep an open book, fam. Be an open book and be willing to take in all this new information you get. I'm welding a 3/8 coupon flux core. I got a little brace right here, fam. I like this one. That's what I be doing. I be sitting on here, I'm bracing on this brace right here. And I can move it around and get it how I want to. That's what I've been using this for. Woo, that was a nice one. We got one more, fam. We got one more. Show y'all this one. So as you see, you're just taking your time. The beads are tight. And you see I left a room for that one more pass right here to run it all down. And that's what you want to do. You want to prepare for your next one. Take your time, fam. Take your time. You'll be okay. No, I don't cool my metal in water. Nah, you can't cool your test in water, fam. Now, if you practicing, yeah, cool it in water. If you just got to practice coupon and you practicing, cool it down and keep it going. But this is an example of a test, and you don't want to do tests like that. And just so y'all know, for the record, when someone says something I feel is inappropriate, I'm not even going to swap no spit, family. I'm raised a little different. I'm a little rough around the edges, fam. I did 11 years in prison, so I don't do no spit swapping at all. So if I see you say something I don't approve of, I'm going to block your ass and keep it moving. You know what I mean? So just so you know, I'm willing to help everybody, fam. But you come on here on some unnecessary drama, I'm not even going to say a word. I'm just going to block you and keep it moving. Because evidently what we're doing is disturbing your peace. We don't want to disturb nobody's peace, fam. We want to help those who want to help. Let's dive in. We got this last one, fam. And this will be the end of this video. What in the world? I don't know why this keep doing it. I think this is wire, man. You get to the last one, it's gonna cause problems. Like my wire getting stuck. All right. Woo! One down. All right, family. Hopefully this video to help someone out. Somebody done got some some good tips from it. For those who want to know where I'm located at, I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas, and we have 16-week welding classes at the Goodwill Academy. We're going to teach you how to do stick welding, flux core welding, and MIG welding in 4 positions, but we're going to test you in 2, uphill and overhead. We're going to teach you how to use the cutting torch and plasma torch. We're going to help you get your OSHA 10. We're going to teach you how to read weld symbols and blueprints. We're going to give you the introduction to TIG, all in 16 weeks, approximately 350 hours. So if a person come in and utilize this time, family, it's a game changer. The price of this program is only $37.75. That's $37.75, family. Under $4,000 for this course is a win-win. When you get a chance, I want you to Google some classes that's close to this one, about 16 weeks, about 350 hours, and see how much they cost. And I guarantee you it's going to be a lot higher than this one. So if you can come down and sign up, it's going to be a win-win because you got something that everybody else don't have. You have a welding instructor who is a coach, who's an entrepreneur, and a business owner. So I'm going to show you how to do it from a different standpoint than a regular person give it to you, fam. I'm going to show you how to turn it into a product. If you want to go get a job, I'm going to show you how to use that job to start your business. All of that. It's all based on the individual. So once you come here, just ask me questions, fam, because I charge people for the information that I'm giving you for free once you enter the program. So it's a win-win situation. Let me answer a couple questions, fam, before I let y'all go. Yeah, that's what it was. It had a little loop in it, and it was jamming my wire, fam. Yep. Honestly, fam, I love it all, but I really enjoyed stick welding, but I love to make things too. So I like MIG and flux core, and I like TIG welding too. I love TIGing, but I like to move fast, and TIGing is a slow pace, so I can't move fast enough. You know what I mean? But I enjoy doing it all. Salute, salute. I actually, I stay in Georgia too, fam. I got my brother in Atlanta. Yeah, smooth and consistent. Once you get it set, though, the flux core is going to run. It's going to do its thing. Once you get it set, you good. Hopefully, we should start teaching aluminum the end of the year or the beginning of the year. We start teaching aluminum. Actually, our CEO has actually talked to a couple people that do boats, and they need some welders, and I believe it was a boat company in Benton, Arkansas. So we're about to start probably doing some aluminum welding. Welding classes at community colleges is okay. It all depends on who the instructor is, and they're going to stretch things out. So you're not going to get it like you're going to get it here. They always stretch things out in the college, especially community college. I'm not stuck. What you say? I'm stuck welding? No, I'm not stuck. I do a lot of different things, but I enjoy doing this. I enjoy teaching and educating people like y'all. I love helping someone win. Yes, there is. There's actually a website. So for those who don't know, check out this website by Lincoln. I think it's called James F. Lincoln Foundation, something like that. Look it up. It's by Lincoln. It's like a Lincoln Foundation. But you can order sample plates and stuff, and you can order a lot of different things through them for cheap to practice on at home. So just check that out, fam. I really think that it's going to be a good benefit for y'all. But until we meet again, like I say, for those who want to get their hog on with me, all you got to do is go to Amazon and put in hog on welding, and my t-shirts and hoodies and all that stuff gonna pop up. Y'all know it's about to be hoodie season, so y'all get your hog on with me, fam. I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all be blessed, continues to prosper, fam. I'm about this thing. Now, I haven't done underwater welding. Love, fam. Peace.